Well, I'll tell you what, if you backed Arsenal this evening, you'll be happy. Slavia Prague 0, Arsenal 3, Arsenal top of the Premier League, and Arsenal are top of the Champions League. They played 4, they won 4, they've scored 11. They're still yet to concede this season in the Champions League. Lee, you cover lots of football all across Europe. Are Arsenal the best team right now in Europe?
Depends on which way you look at it. Results-wise would suggest so. They're winning games. They're finding different ways of winning games, and I think that's a great skill to be able to have. But also not conceding is the key to winning titles.
Yeah, I feel like if they're going to keep on not conceding goals like this, even I could tell you, they're probably not going to lose many games of football, are they? The consistency is remarkable, right?
Incredible at the moment. And, I think we touched on it earlier. They've got a few injuries they're having to contend with. And it looks like, it's been well documented now. They've got 2 quality players for every position. And that looks like it's really bearing fruit now, doesn't it? They've got a solid squad. They are in form. They're confident. They're playing with a swagger as well. Not scintillating football by any means, but they're getting the job done, and ultimately that's what wins titles, that's what wins trophies, doesn't it?
Yeah, also a special evening as well. 15 years and 308 days old, the youngest player in Champions League history, right? Max Dowman coming off the bench for Arsenal this evening. That's astonishing, isn't it?
It is. It is just a sign of
how old we are.
Well, yeah. Speak for yourself, son. I think it is a sign. It is a sign.
Doesn't know that one, does it?
I don't genuinely think it's a sign of when, and you feel this, when everything is going right at your football club, all of these things start to happen, all of these magic moments start to happen. I think first, just to say on him, like the mentality to have at 15 to be able to go into this Arsenal team that has got the bit between its teeth, has got so much pressure this year to get themselves over the line, to go into that team and have an impact is extraordinary. So extraordinary props to him.
So, right, if you're looking at this from a Liverpool point of view, then okay, as you watching Arsenal and look to see any particular faults in Arsenal, in hope that obviously Liverpool need to take care of their own business and sort themselves out domestically.
Yeah.
Is there anything you see in this Arsenal team or anything you could possibly see going wrong with this Arsenal team in the months to come? Because lots of people are just saying they're not conceding, they're too good, they're going to win the league, it's done.
Yeah, look, I think that's a fair point. And I think if you look at the consistency levels of Arsenal, it's far better than anybody else in the league at the moment. Obviously, the table bears that out. And I think then all of the evidence points to Arsenal continue to be inconsistent and Liverpool and City being inconsistent in a number of games over the next couple of weeks. But, they've got so much quality, Liverpool and City, that they could find a way to still compete in quite a scrappy fashion. They won't do it convincingly, I don't think, until at least the turn of the year of mounting any type of title challenge. But they've certainly got enough quality to stay in the race. I think Arsenal, what's quite interesting is you always find that, and Slot compared the differences between his first half of the season and the second half of the season. Teams tend to work out, once they've seen a pattern of play over the course of a number of games, you will get opposition managers now putting their heads together thinking, how do we stop Arsenal? What are the things that we can do to limit them? I mean, we've spoken about corners. We were speaking about this with Jason Cundy just before the show. What is it that other teams can do to prevent them? There's the idea that you could put more players up on a halfway line, but ultimately they've just got quality delivery and they've got sheer physicality in the box that makes them a real threat.
Do you know what? I think the only thing that would stop them from winning the league, because I genuinely, I do probably think it's a realistic thing that's going to happen now. If that kind of spine of their team got injured, I appreciate they've got a very good squad and they've got depth.
You've got 6 players injured or suspended right now.
If for example, Gabriel, because I actually think Gabriel has become more important, in my opinion, than Saliba. I really do. I think his growth has been huge. Declan Rice. I think that if in terms of the deliveries,
but people said that about Odegaard.
I know,
but of Odegaard, they got Odegaard.
I get that, but they've got other. Yes, correct. But I just think that Gabriel is such a leader in that side, and I think Rice is as well. And I think the deliveries from Rice, yes, they've got good deliveries elsewhere, but the deliveries that Rice puts in for those set pieces, and Gabriel, how clinical he is from those set pieces, I think that could be an area. But I do think that they probably. I mean, the attacking options that they've got out, Gyökeres didn't play tonight.
No, didn't play.
Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, Havertz, Madueke, Martinelli.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's in that list as well. And I just feel like once they don't probably have to be reliant on this defensive element of scoring goals from that area of the pitch once they have those options. Maybe that's because they haven't had the options that's how they're going to do it, because they can do it. Once they have got a fully fit squad at some point, or some of those attacking players do come back, I expect Arsenal to potentially play a more expansive style of football, maybe more so, because they can also do that. They are so strong in every area of the pitch. I hate saying it, but it is so true. They are just such a big unit as a whole. They also love to defend. Even their forward players love to defend. So when you've got a unit like that, which is so hard to break down in general, and they suffocate every single team that comes onto them, and you give them a set piece, or once they've got those attacking players, Martinelli's come bang into form, Trossard's come into form, Marino can pop up with a goal. Plus, Kai Havertz, Arteta loves Kai Havertz. So there's an element that actually maybe even Kai Havertz starts instead of Gyökeres.
Are you booking a long holiday then for May time?
I intend to move. I intend to not come back.
Where are you going to move to?
Very, very, very far.
Australia's nice this time.
I think that might
New
be my
Zealand,
next destination.
far away. And, I think at the start of the season, I think people said, they've I hate using the word bottled it, but in previous years they've come close and they've sort of faltered away at the end. And I don't think that means this can happen again this season. I think they're a year wiser, a year older, a year more together. And I think they just look like well-drilled, well-organised. When Liverpool had that season, right, under Klopp, we used to call ourselves the mentality monsters, because almost like every game we were in, we'd get over the line, score a last-minute goal. I almost thought, that's a bit with Arsenal when I watched them. The defending, the clean sheets, the physicality. And this does not look like a team this season, with the squad they've got, the options they've got, that if they were to lose a game, that they're going to crumble and choke and bottle it. Not this year. And that worries me as a Liverpool fan.
It feels like that, actually, the way Liverpool were last season. Liverpool were just, winning without playing, fantastic football at times, but finding ways to win. And, even though it wasn't always pretty on the eye, you almost knew that they weren't going to let up. Those last minute goals that were going to, you go back to that Arsenal 2-1 win at Newcastle. They were 1-0 down for so much of that game, but you just, when you're watching as a fan, you were neutral, you're watching, you just feel it. You can feel that goal's going to come. And just from the perspective of on the continent, by the way,
Go on.
Arsenal are very, very much feared.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's the one team that certainly, outside of England, that teams will look at and say, yeah, absolute fans of teams or whoever it may be will look at that and go, Arsenal are up there. Arsenal will be the favourites. And they're the team to beat. I think they're the team to beat, absolutely. You can look at your PSG.
Do you think right now they're stronger than your PSG?
Absolutely. Yes, because PSG have not been able to put out a full strength team yet all season. So here's the
Neither have Arsenal, to be fair, have they?
Yeah, very true. But here's the thing: is that Arsenal appear ready now. PSG won't be ready until January, and we spoke a little bit about peaking too early, didn't we? And ultimately, that's what Luis Enrique will want. He won't want his team ready now. He wants his team ready in January to do what they did last season, to go up, to build that momentum and go on and beat a Liverpool and beat all of the Premier League teams again. And ultimately, that's what they'll be aiming for. But right now, Arsenal are the team to beat.
Hard to disagree, Abby, with that?
I think that is the question. Like, lots of people are obviously writing, they're saying the writing's on the wall, Arsenal are going to win the league, Liverpool are off it, City are off it. The thing is, we've seen in years and leagues gone by that City sometimes do have a slower start. They're just kind of going under the radar, City, at the moment. I don't think that they'll probably I don't think we'll see the best probably out of Liverpool, and I don't think we'll see the best out of City until 2026, probably around December, January time. Whether or not there is too much of a gap there.
How big is the gap?
At that point, that was the question. But if you can be within touching distance, and obviously I'm very hopeful that you will be in touching distance, this is where I said a few weeks ago about the mentality of Arsenal. You mentioned
Hey Gooners, after hearing all that, I'll be honest with you, what people are saying about Arsenal right now is something we haven't heard in a long time. Respect. They've admitted it. We're the most consistent team in Europe at the moment. And look, that's not an exaggeration. 4 wins in the Champions League, 11 goals scored, none conceded. That's a champion's mentality. And what's even more impressive, it's not just beautiful football anymore, it's maturity. That old Arsenal that used to collapse at the end of the season seems to be gone. The pundit said something that really hit me. That Arsenal today reminds them of Klopp's Liverpool at its peak, a team that simply didn't let the opponent breathe. And it's true. You can feel that even when the game gets tough, the goal is coming. And to me, that's the clearest sign that this team has grown. Now, of course, they also mentioned a crucial point: injuries. if we lose key players like Gabriel or Rice, it could get tricky. But unlike past years, we now have the depth to cope. Arteta has built a solid foundation, and the spirit within the squad is completely different. So honestly, for me, Arsenal is the team to beat in Europe right now. It's not hype, it's consistency, mentality, and football with purpose. And if we keep going like this might just be the year when everything changes. Hey Gunners, if you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with everything happening at Arsenal, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Here you'll get every win, every signing, and every moment that could decide the Premier League. Let's go together. Come on you Gunners.